The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Thursday morning to you, and welcome to the show. The A-Train, Anthony Harmon, in charge of things today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-500. We're in the Jared Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jared-construction.com. Phone calls to the show with service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly. Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, on Virginia Street. Check out bestmastertaylor.com and make sure that you follow Tony's Facebook page. Thursday edition of the show. Of course, the big stories of the day, the weather. Of this time, about 48 hours from now, they tell us we should be okay. But maybe late Saturday afternoon into early Saturday evening, and then into Sunday and into Sunday night. Yeah, we're in for a mess, and it's going to be, you know, everybody just keeps talking about, everybody's a weather forecaster, and everybody's, the southern wedge is going to win out on this one.
For southern wedge.
Yes, but no, it's not going to happen that way, because there's going to be a southern wedge, but that southern wedge is going to bring ice with it, and so it ain't going to be pretty.
Our big hit was thunder snow, actually, as southern wedge.
Will you wait for your introduction, please? All right. So we'll get into weather coming up a little bit later on. Also, Emmett Pepper is going to be joining us, of course, Charleston City Councilman. And you heard on Daniel's newscast, there's a lot of big news coming out of Charleston here as of late, particularly in the Kanawha City area. Emmett serves as at-large council member, so he's going to join us a little bit later on in the show. And so we'll find out also if he's going to be running for re-election for a city council seat. So that's coming up a little bit later on. As always, your calls and texts are welcome. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The voice you heard, the lovely golden tones of one Robert Q. Riel.
Yes, Robert's the middle name.
Okay, I know.
I'm not going to share what the first name is, because the only people who address me by my first name want money. Mm-hmm. So okay. It's actually a really good barometer for screening phone calls.
If somebody calls and says, yes, I want to speak to Ferdinand, which, by the way, is your real name.
May we speak to Cornelius? No, you may not. He's not here.
I'm just making that up. No. I make it up every time. He has a different first name every time I'm here. So Rob Riel from our sister station, 96.1 KWS, is here, and to bring a little, common sense in the program, Jason Quintrell from Union Mission is here as well. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Of course,
awesome.
You guys are here for the third annual WVRC Media Charleston Sock Drop. Kicked it off at 7 a.m. this morning, going till 6 o'clock tonight. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, making it possible. Appreciate those folks. Rob, how's it gone so far?
We are flirting with 800 pairs so far. We're off to a great start. I want to give a specific shout out to Green Valley Church of God. She showed up with 300 pairs just on her own in the minivan.
300 pairs.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, they heard what we had planned, and they started collecting as a congregation and a community and friends and such, and showed up with 300 pair this morning. So we're off to a great start. But as you know, in West Virginia, it's going to be a long winter, so it's going to be a long day for us until 6 p.m. Whether it's a pair or a package, a bag, a box, a bin full of socks, whatever your budget and your heart will allow. Maybe you team up at work and you take a collection, and you can bring us cash or check donation for Union Mission.
Absolutely.
That would work great. Socks. I know y'all got great bulk buying power with that.
Do.
If you want to swing through the store and buy a bunch with that collection, that works too. But come see us, 1111 Virginia Street East, before 6 o'clock this evening.
And, of course, everybody's going to be out and about buying, as Rob calls it, Jason, their French toast kits. You know, the eggs, the milk, and the bread.
Yes.
Actually, I was getting text to the midday show yesterday. There was one person that texted the show, and he said, just want to let you know my girlfriend works at Walmart, and I don't know what city they were calling from or texting from. But it was a madhouse there yesterday, and it's only going to – and I only say that to say chances are, preparing for Snowmageddon this weekend, people are going to be out and about anyway. So if you get done with your fist fights over, the 48 loaves of bread that you think that you need at your local Kroger store, swing on over to the Big Lots or the Dollar Tree or the Dollar Store or whatever your favorite store is, and pick up some socks.
Absolutely. We got many guys at our shelter that could use them. We will share them all over with folks in other shelters, and it's a great opportunity to help your folks in need.
And that's one of the things I wanted, because people, we've given us a lot of coverage on our network show in the afternoon as well, and people have said, well, that's a Charleston thing, and that's all well and good. But you guys work with a lot. We saw it during the flood recovery. We don't stop at borders.
Absolutely not. We just like our Thanksgiving and Christmas, we handled 15 different counties around us with food. Anywhere from 70 to 80,000 pounds of food goes out of our warehouse a month. And we do a lot in Kanawha Valley, but we also do a lot in West Virginia.
Union Mission, it's kind of a two-layer organization. They're doing all of those local things, and then also working as a clearinghouse. When you think of organizations like the United Way that connect people with all sorts of different services, that's a lot of what Union Mission is doing region-wide and statewide. So even if you're in Bluefield or Bridgeport, you are still going to be helping folks in your area when you help with Union Mission and help with Drop Your Socks today.
And Jason, talk about the need for the socks. And Rob has talked about it, but let's talk about why socks.
Well, just a simple need. We don't really think about it much. We get up in the morning, we jump in the shower, we get out, and we put socks on and get dressed and come to work.
And sometimes pants.
Well, that's optional. Yeah, but yeah.
Check your local listings.
Yes. But yeah, we don't think much about it, but there are people out there that they are in genuine need for socks. They're in genuine need for just basic items in life, and that's definitely a big part of it, and we want to be a part of that, and we take our hats off, salute you guys for having a burden for people that are in need for those things. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, and it gives us an opportunity to help folks in need.
And we had, Rob, before we even started this thing at 7 o'clock, we had people throughout the week stopping by our offices here and saying, I can't make it on Thursday. They've reached out to us on social media saying, hey, can I drop? When we first started talking about this a month ago, immediately people said, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it that day, or maybe they didn't know what the weather was going to be, and they just dropped off bags of socks.
I think our early morning stake was 150 when we got rolling this morning. Yeah, when we opened the parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East, closest cross street, Leon Sullivan, we had 150 to get going this morning. So folks were on board from the very, very beginning. And it's not unbearably cold this morning, but that wind is really cutting through you. Right. And it's a reminder for me that when my feet get cold, other parts of my body, particularly my brain, start shutting down. Mm-hmm. I lose 50 IQ points if my feet are cold, and I can't afford to lose much more. I was going to say,
people in radio can't afford to lose that.
At this point, I'm a talking monkey. So I'm somebody who I can come in here to the studio at a space heater right by my desk. I can heat myself back up. I live a couple of blocks away. I can go home, change clothes, put on more clothes. There are so many folks who don't have that wherewithal. It is, but not only the displaced persons that you see around town. It is also maybe that family who left a domestic violence situation in the middle of the night with literally nothing but the clothes on their back. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's somebody who is living out of his or her vehicle. Mm-hmm. That is technically a displaced person, but not somebody you're seeing on the street. Maybe it's somebody who's couch surfing. There are so many folks. I think the number in West Virginia is 1 out of 3 folks are right around the poverty line or worse. And about half of those are living in deep poverty. Mm-hmm. So it is such a little thing we can be doing to make the lives better. One tiny need we can fulfill to maybe help that person get the next step.
And please don't think, well, you've got 800 pair, you're doing great, you don't need me. That's not true. Oh my. We're going to be doing this till 6 o'clock this evening. please come by. 800's not enough. We can use 2,000.
Right. How many, roughly, Rob, do you remember how many we did last year? I'm just rough estimate.
I remember we were kind of keeping track in terms of like 55-gallon barrels the first year, and we did almost 4 of those. And then last year, you've got kind of that big watermelon box in the back of the truck that kind of fills up the truck. We filled the truck, 2 or 3 times last year?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was 2,200, 2,200, something like that.
We're already off to a good start.
Yeah, we are.
My early morning goal is to have you have to run the truck back before lunch to unload and fill it again.
I love your goals.
So
I love your goals.
I would love to do that before the barbecue, before Rolling Smoke shows up.
We'll talk about that here in a couple of moments. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia. Presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com, under the podcast menu. And I want to give a big shout out to the folks at Rolling Smoke Barbecue, because they follow our stations on social media. They heard us talking about it on all of our stations. And the folks at Rolling Smoke said, we want to help out. We want to provide you guys with lunch, because you guys are out there. And again, this is something all of our stations are involved in. This is Rob's baby, but all of our stations jumped in on this. We'll have the sales weasels out there. We'll have the office staff. We'll have anybody that we can get. Sales, yeah. We'll get, that's a loving term. We'll get everybody out there from the news department. Will be out there as well. All of us out there. And the folks at Rolling Smoke reached out and they said, we want to provide you lunch. Let me just tell you a little something about Rolling Smoke. Voted by Southern Living West Virginia as the best barbecue. They are participating in Restaurant Week. There'll be a first-time participant in that. Of course, Restaurant Week runs in Charleston next week. 3 courses for $25. And I'm always, Rob, you're a world traveler.
A wee bit.
Is it pronounced Wagyu or Wagyu? Wagyu slow smoked brisket.
That's the Japanese beef, the highfalutin Japanese beef.
Yes. With the pork butt barbecue, and of course you can dine in there. You can pick up. They do catering as well. 304-965-0808. 304-965-0808. So I want to give a big shout out to them as well.
You put a plate of that Wagyu brisket on top of your head, your tongue beats your brains out trying to get to it.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It is very good stuff. We appreciate them for reaching out, because, again, we didn't ask. They contacted us, and they said, hey, we want to provide lunch for your crew. And so we said, we'll take it.
Well, and it's in each according to our gifts sort of a situation. We're not going to, WVRC Media, we don't try to sort and distribute the socks. That's why we bring in Union Mission. You are the experts at this. We are the experts at motivating, at using the big mouths and big microphones. Rolling Smoke, they're not going to collect socks. They're not going to market it. They're the experts at food. How do we get involved in this? We make food to keep the people fed so that they can do all the work on the parking lot.
Pretty cool.
It's amazing to me, and yet never surprising, the way West Virginians come through for West Virginians, each according to our gifts.
Always take care of each other.
Indeed. We had a text here. Is there a Venmo for sock money for those not in Charleston?
No, but you can go to wefeedpeople.com and you can click the Donate Now button, and you can mark that for socks, and we will sure to go buy socks for you.
WeFeedPeople.com. And Rob has brought this up ever since we've been talking about it, Jason. We appreciate the donations of socks, and we don't care as long as they're new, whether you bring in 2 pairs or you bring in boxes, or like the lady from the church did earlier, whatever, we'll take it. But sometimes with you guys and these type of organizations, Rob has said it before, your buying power can be a little bit greater. So sometimes cash and checks are actually better.
Absolutely. If you want to, you can call in 925-0366. You can do it that way. Like I said, you can go wefeedpeople.com, click on the Donate Now button, and take care of it that way as well.
All right. And again, this is going on till 6 o'clock tonight. Big shout out to Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. They do so much for the state of West Virginia. And they're not just, they're all over the place. They got locations in Florida and so on and so forth. So, but we appreciate them for getting involved with us, Rob. They're
going to come in handy, I think, for somebody with this winter storm that's going to come through, because eventually it's all going to melt.
Yeah.
And, I think about we're only going to be in for a couple of days. It's going to be a bad storm, but it's not going to hang around for forever, and we're not going to be trapped. You don't need 48 loaves of bread, but, some folks they're going to lose power. They're going to have pipes freeze. Things are going to bust, and Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration can come in and help you clean up from that. I'm just thinking about if like plumbing freezes up in my building and I can't take a shower, I'll go over to Union Mission. I know I can get a shower there.
Do that for you.
Yeah. I would invite you to my house, but we moved.
Yeah.
So we didn't move, actually. All right, Rob, I appreciate you being here. Jason, as always. And again, we're going to have more on this coming up on Metro News Midday later today. It's on our parking lot. Started at 7 this morning. We're going till 6 o'clock tonight. And again, you don't even have to get out of your car. We've got Rob's going to be out there when he's not on the radio box, and your crew, Jason. I know you've been out there all morning. There'll be others out there from your organization, I'm sure. All of our stations, V100, The Beat, The Mountain, we're all out there. WCHS, of course, KWS, they're all out there from time to time. The office staff, everybody's helping out with this. We appreciate you all, the greatest listeners in the world, for helping us out. Jason Quintrell, Union Mission, appreciate. Give us that website again.
www.wefeedpeople.com.
All right. And Rob?
1111 Virginia Street East. Use the Leon Sullivan exit because they're working on Virginia Street. Just makes it easier. Come see us before 6 o'clock this evening.
All right. 922, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. When environmental questions come up in a building, Pinnacle provides clear answers. They specialize in asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor air quality with accredited lab testing based in West Virginia. Learn more at pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. Piggly Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-5008. We're going to talk a little weather coming up a little bit later on, and Emmett Pepper, Charleston City Councilman, coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her voice was shaking. She needed help. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her previously, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. I was humbled and proud. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:25. More on the weather. Oh, yeah. It's a thing. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. Piggly Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Visit bridgevalley.edu. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Your career starts here. Charleston City Councilman Emmett Pepper with us right now. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thanks for having me back.
And happy Sock Drop Day.
That's right, yeah.
For those that celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate you stopping by today, and swing by later if you want, because we got lunch coming, courtesy of Rolling Smoke Barbecue.
There you go. That sounds great.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they've catered a couple of events here for us before, and you don't hear me say this a lot when it comes to barbecue or any restaurant. Their sides are as good as the meats.
Oh, yeah.
And because to me, quality barbecue restaurants, I judge you on the sides as well. The meats are always good, and that's what I like, but I like the side, and their side dishes are incredible.
Well, I was a vegetarian for a while, and so I got this. The barbecue restaurants were only sides for me for a long time, so I have a good appreciation of that, too.
So you were a vegetarian for a while?
Yeah, well, I was pescatarian, so,
Okay, now what's a pescatarian?
Fish and nothing, no other meat.
Okay, because there's various and this is not why you're here, by the way, but there's various things.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people that are, don't use animal products at all.
Oh,
I mean, no
yeah.
eggs, no cheese, no nothing. They're communist. I'm kidding. And then there's those that just don't eat red meat, and there's those that don't eat meat, eat the vegetables. So you are pescatarian.
I was. Yeah, but
isn't that the church that's next door to us here?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Pescatarian, Presbyterian.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. So, all right. So you're running for re-election. Are you running for re-election? I should ask.
I am, and this is the first time announcing it. Yep.
Make the official statement now. Guys upstairs, hit record.
Emmett Pepper, I'm running for the at-large city council. It's one of 6 at-large city council seats.
All right. So, and how many terms have you served?
One.
Okay.
One and change.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this will be your second full term, I guess?
Second full, third term. I came in under, sad circumstances. I was appointed after John Kennedy Bailey passed away.
Yeah. And what a great gentleman he was.
Absolutely.
And it was a great loss for the Charleston area. And you're an at-large seat. So that means you get to hear from everybody, right?
That's right. And
and to be fair, all members of city councils still hear from everybody, no matter what you can contact who whether it's your ward or not, right?
I think that definitely happens. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I think the at-large, there's sometimes we get copied on everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, this is an opportunity for us, to keep the momentum going that we've had and that I've been working on for the last several years.
I want to talk about that momentum in the city of Charleston right now, because over the last couple of years, I mean, there have been a lot of great things have come. There's been business openings. The restaurants that have come here are, unbelievable. And of course, the return of Regatta and things of that nature. And there's always something going on in Charleston, especially as we get to the warm weather months. I mean, there's always a Foam at the Dome, or there's always something going on the West End, or there's something going on there's always something going on in Charleston.
Yeah, and I think that is. I mean, so the goal, I think, is to make this a place where the population, which our state, our city, has been losing population for our entire lifetimes. And so we really need to reverse that trend. My friend Jennifer Farr, also at large, she says we want to add 10,000 or 20,000 people. I'd be happy with flat, next time.
Just not to lose.
That's right. The way that we're going to do that is, a few things. One is going to be jobs. People live in a place because they have a job. People live in a place because they have connections, family, friends, that kind of thing. And they live in a place because they like it. And so, so having, we can't, I think we can do everything we can to help make it so that job creators, folks can make it work here. But we can't create the jobs ourselves through government, but we can make it easier for folks to survive. We can make it, so that there are more of those third spaces, and which also plays into, both having the connections, having friends and family, and also making it a place you want to live.
What was it? Now, are you a native Charlestonian?
Yes, I was born and raised here.
Okay, all right, but what made you stay? Because here's the problem, and we talk about this a lot with various guests. We have a real problem in West Virginia with getting people to want to stay here, especially people that go away to college, which you did, of course, but want to come back here. What was it about Charleston that made Emmett Pepper and family decide we want to be here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I moved away, actually. So I'm, one of the people, I moved away for quite some time. I lived in the Northeast for about 9 years, and in between undergrad and law school, I was in D.C. for law school. So, and then I moved back. I mean, and frankly, I mean, the things that made me want to move back here were family. I still have family in the area, and I got a job here. And so, those are the things that brought me back here. And I think that's what brings people to a place, is that they have a connection. And so, all the folks who have moved away, we want to make it easier for them to get back. But we also want to be attracting people who don't necessarily have a connection to here. Yeah. There's a lot of some of my favorite West Virginians are ones who just moved here, and they like it. And from what I've heard, the folks who have been visiting our city, they just have a great time here, and they enjoy it. But they just need to know that it's here.
What can we do to and again, we have great folks from like the CVB and Charleston Urban Works, and of course with the mayor's office and others, and the county commission. So many people work together to try to advertise the city of Charleston, Kanawha County, and all of West Virginia to the rest of the world. What do we need to do more of, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is just more of the same, so we have been, well, not more of the same for the long term, but I do think there are some things that I personally been working on and that this administration has been working on that I think we need to do more of. We need to be doing more to kind of redevelop, there's been a lot of dilapidated properties that we have been demolished, but now we're also turning the corner and working to get new construction. We've more than tripled the amount of new builds in the city just in the through an incentive program that we initiated, and we're about to do a second round of that in the coming months. We need to be doing more of those third spaces that I was talking about. The City Center Slack Plaza has truly transformed our downtown. We need to also be investing into having a lot more parks in our neighborhoods. I mean, that's one of the, policies that I think is really important that I was able to get through is setting some goals for having parks within walking distance of people's homes, having 75% of our city live within a half-mile walk of a home, of a park. That is something that helps people's way of life. It's not something that people are calling me up to get, but it really makes their way of life better.
Well, and if you're going to attract young people, which is what we want to do in West Virginia, we want to attract younger people, and we want to attract families. We want to attract people that are going to come here on the odd chance that maybe their kids are going to want to stay here, and you're going to give their kids something to do. Because you talked about the jobs, and I agree with you on that 100%, but people only work so many hours a day. People only work, in theory, 7 or 8 hours a day. I remember my first part-time job too. But in theory, and maybe they get a day off, they get weekends off. So the job alone, I have always said, it may attract you here, but you're not always at work, and the ability to work remotely, the ability to have parks, to have recreation. This younger generation, statistically it's statistically proven, are more about experiences. They love the outdoors. I'm a fan of the great indoors, okay? But they like the outdoors. They want to be able, and Charleston, we're not far. I mean, you talk about the parks in the communities, we're not far from the New River Gorge things. We're not far from some of these other places, when they're not working.
That's right. And, as somebody, I have young kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. And during COVID, the 7-year-old, it was crucial for us to have. We happen to live near a park a half block away from us, and we were able to just go to that. That was such a lifesaving for us during that time, and it makes just a big difference even past COVID, but certainly especially during that time. But having parks in your community makes a big difference for folks, and we have a great new park in our city, the Jones Woodlands Trails up in South Hills, and we have some existing parks that have been Cato and a lot of others that are really great places to spend some time to kind of get out and enjoy your community, have a place to walk that's nice, you see birds and all that kind of stuff. And it really improves your way of life.
Talking to Charleston City Councilman Emmett Pepper, 26 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. We are already thinking about baseball season, especially with the weather we're going to have the next couple of days. Let's get ourselves over to Go-Mart Ballpark. Get your season tickets, merchandise, and more at dirtybirdsbaseball.com. They're also going to be doing some special thing for Valentine's Day. We'll be giving you more information on that as we get a little bit closer. I got to ask you something that's been a lot of buzz the last couple of weeks here, and that's the town center. We all remember, and I am not a native Charlestonian, but I remember, as a teenager and a young guy coming up from Logan County, and the town center and all that went with it was everything. Everybody wants the Charleston Town Center to be what it was in 1988. Okay, it's not going to be that. It's never going to be that in the way we remember it. Nothing ever is. As Paul Simon said, everything looks good in black and white. Okay, just keep that in mind. And there's not going to be one store. People have blown up our text lines and social media saying, well, if you just put this in here, not going to happen. Yeah. What would you ideally like to see happen with the Charleston Town Center?
Man, the fact that there's a possibility that the city might end up in, ownership, and I that's above my pay grade. I'm not, involved in those conversations or anything. We have a large city council, but I think there has to be some amount of mixed use. I think, some residential is something that it's been working in places for decades now at this point. I mean, it's not even a new thing to have residential with a mall, that kind of thing. I mean, when I worked in the Northeast, I think it was a Trump Tower that was built on top of a mall in the town where I lived in or worked in, and that worked great, And so I think there's opportunities to do things like that where we have some residential, we have some office space, we have some recreation, and we have some stores. I mean, but ultimately, look. In the past several years, this issue comes up and people complain. The city needs to do something about the mall. It's like we don't own it. But if we do own it, I don't think we're going to be the ones that are going to be the developers of it. I think we have to find someone to do that.
People, I think, forget that sometimes, and this is not exclusive to Charleston. I mean, it happens in every town. I read about it on social media. Well, the city of blank, you all need to put in a restaurant. Well, that's not what cities do.
Yeah.
You don't put in restaurants. You don't put in things like this. Now, if you get an agreement with the whole group where maybe the city does take over it, but you're still not going to be the one to put restaurants in. I mean, you can go out and you can say, hey, bring your place here, but it's not the city diner, so to speak, or whatever. And I think I'm all on board with this multi-use thing. I mean, I really, really am, because it's worked so many other places. And it's not to say, Emmett, that you couldn't have a nice restaurant there. It's not to say that you couldn't have a store or two, but to be whatever the town center was in its peak, 40, whatever it was, I don't know, 45, 70 stores, whatever's there. That's not the future going forward.
No, I don't think so. And I have ideas about things that we could put in there, but I'm not. I'm not a developer. I don't have the metrics on this. I'm not. We need to find the folks who do, but I do think it has to have some kind of a mixed use.
All right. So if you are going to be elected as a at-large member of City Council, we talked about a few of the things, but are there anything else that is kind of on your wish list for the city of Charleston going forward?
Yeah, no, I really think we really need to focus on ways that we can redevelop, get more people to stay here, and redevelop the land that we have, and create those third spaces.
All right. Emmett Pepper, at-large city councilman, is running for re-election, City of Charleston. Best of luck in your campaign, and have you on again soon. See, we didn't even once say the words energy or anything, which is why we normally have you on here. That's your daytime job.
I thought about it.
We like to separate the two things. Emmett Pepper, appreciate you being here. Hang out with me 1 second. 22 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and a pizza bowl, $22.99. Find your nearest Husson's Pizza for delivery, pickup, or dine in at Husson'sPizza.com. Bigley Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. We'll take a break. Talking the weather when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
Watch some of the state's best high school boys and girls basketball matchups live and free on Metro News TV, plus episodes of our exclusive interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right now on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by the West Virginia Department of Tourism, Dan Cava, Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, WVU Medicine, and Trojan Landing Marine and Power Sports.
Charleston Mayor Amy Schuler Goodwin is here. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning. When we start to say, if you put a Dave & Buster's in it, it'll save it. By the way, it's not going to. I hate to say that to you.
No, it's not.
It is not going to. That, by the way, that's okay. I appreciate you want a Dave & Buster's. It's okay to say that. But what you're really saying is you want activity. You want vibrancy. You want light. You want oxygen. You want people moving around and again.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. Weekday mornings at 9 on the Voice of Charleston, 580 WCHS.
Welcome back to the show. It's 19 minutes away from 10 o'clock. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, with more than $20 billion recovered. They believe When you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. Well, somebody who does is Brian Hughes, meteorologist Brian Hughes. How you doing, my friend?
Let's see. It's been a little busy.
Anything going on out there?
Nope, not at all. It's
sunny and 75?
Yeah, sunny, 75. San Diego weather.
I had a friend, I've never been to San Diego, but I had a buddy of mine one time that lived and worked in San Diego, and when I told him what my weather wishes were, he said, you just need to move to San Diego. Because I said, I don't like it too hot. I don't like, sunny and 75. He said, you've probably been to San Diego because you've been everywhere. Is San Diego where I need to be?
No.
Are you telling me I can't get chicken livers in San Diego? Is that what you're telling me?
You can get chicken livers in San Diego. You can get a lot of things in San Diego.
Yeah, all right.
But I'd go a touch further north. But then you start to get in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Okay.
All you don't want to be there.
All right. So we got weather. And by the way, if you're not following Brian Hughes on social media, you should be. You've
missed an entertaining time. That's
it's been go to his Facebook page and the comments at the bottom. And I'm not talking about the comments from the people. I'm talking about the comments that he has on there, or somebody has on there. Bosun, I think, does it. I'm not sure.
She's actually running the show.
Yeah. The comments are absolutely hilarious. I love the one I saw last night that said something like experience, and it said, which means old, All right, so let's get serious here no, let's don't.
It's more fun not to be.
We got what are we looking at as we speak right now? Because right now we got our sock drop going on. Considering it's January the 22nd, not too terribly bad today. Tomorrow looks good. What do we got coming in Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, and really all of next week?
So more than anything, the messaging has been there. Ari Sarsalari, who is with Fox Weather, very good friend of mine. As he said last night, he goes, we haven't had a storm. And I've said this as well. We haven't had a storm that has had this much advertisement this far ahead in a long time, especially in this digital age. And when I say digital age actually kicked off about 15, 20 years ago, really. But the new digital age, where we have literally forecast models, all of them right at our fingertips. And we can go through and analyze every single one of them as they come in. But this storm has been well advertised. There's a storm coming. Everybody, from New Mexico to the East Coast, there's a storm coming. That's about 1,600 miles worth of winter storm watches that were all issued at the exact same time yesterday.
And when's the last time that happened?
We haven't had one like that, especially with the coordination. And it literally took the National Weather Service as a collective whole to say, we're issuing this winter storm watch, even though some of it was outside of the parameters for when they normally would. We're issuing this winter storm watch for everybody across the country at once, because this is so impactful and the message needs to be cohesive. And that is, we've got a major impacting storm that is going to cross the country. And on the far southern side, there's going to be ice. There's a chance that in southern West Virginia and maybe southeast Kentucky, we do get some sleet and maybe some freezing rain mixing in. We've talked about it before, the warm wedge. The storm system is incredibly powerful, and the fact that it can draw the warm air up from, the deep south, literally Alabama, Georgia, back up across parts of, North Carolina, Tennessee, and right up the essentially Corridor G. From, right there from Pikeville, just all the way up Corridor G, and even up to as far as maybe Flatwoods. As far as Clarksburg, it might even get there. And that's going to cut some snow totals back. But you go north of there, holy smokes, the Ohio River, a foot of snow. And then in the mountains, a foot to maybe even 18 inches worth of snow. But, forecast models as of now. So we've talked about this. The national blend of models has Pikeville around 4 to 5 inches worth of snow right now. Beckley could be on order of about 6 inches of snow. Charleston could be anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow if the warm wedge wins out. But last night, the forecast model started to trend back south. Wasn't a lot, but it was enough that it was substantial that we go, okay, there's the trend. There's what we call a windshield wiper effect, where it goes back and forth. And we still do expect, probably by this afternoon, a little bit touch further south. Mm-hmm. But for here, the Charleston metro area, how critical is that? It's very critical, because if the models just trend just far enough south, it's the difference from us having anywhere from a 6-inch snow to a foot.
Okay, and when might we know if that's the case?
It's going to be this afternoon into this evening tonight.
Okay,
because we're still, snow doesn't start till Saturday.
Yeah.
And here it is Thursday.
Right.
We know that in the forecast, I think you saw the post I had this morning. The forecast from the National Weather Service this morning was that we would have the possibility, and mind you, it is a wide range, but we have an 8 to 12 inch potential for snow. And that would be if the warm wedge does not win.
And this is what I have been seeing from a lot of folks online. They're saying, well, and we hear about that warm wedge. It kind of protects, from sometimes Huntington, Charleston, maybe that this. But what you're saying is even if the warm wedge comes in, it doesn't mean that, we're not going to get any snow at all. Everybody's going to get a lot of snow regardless of what wins.
Right. I mean, you think about it. 4 inches of snow, that's your shoveling stuff. 2 to 4 inches is when you start pulling the shovels out. And the snow blowers, 4 inches, there are a lot of folks who bring snow blowers out even for that. But especially once you get to 6 inches, which I firmly believe we are going to be at least 6 inches here right now, as we speak right now. 6 inches of snow in the Charleston metro area.
All right. But my point is even if that warm wedge that we always talk about does win out or takes the upper hand or whatever analogy you want to use, that doesn't mean we're not going to get snow. Because I saw people posting saying, we're just going to get rain for here. No, that's not going to happen.
No, that's a joke. Could that mix in later? Yes, but here's the bigger problem, and this is where my discussions with municipal leaders and such comes in, is that we're going to start. Think about this: Saturday, we're barely going to get above 20 degrees.
Okay,
that's okay. We've set the stage beginning Friday evening and night, going into Saturday morning, that we're cooling the ground off significantly. So everything that falls going into Saturday evening Saturday afternoon, even though it's only going to be a half inch to an inch, maybe 2 inches by the time sunset hits, probably around an inch by sunset. That is there. And you have this coating that is keeping the ground so cold. If the warm wedge moves in, then you put ice on top of it. And then, even if we do briefly get some very cold rain, still, that becomes a layer of ice. And then there's snow that comes in on the backside.
This kind of reminds me last year around January 6th or whatever, we had a similar situation. It was on a weekend. Yeah. Started on Sunday. We had snow. And then we had freezing rain on top of that. And then we had more snow on top of that.
And then the cold settled in and it couldn't.
And the snow stuck around for a long time.
And everyone in Kanawha City complained like you wouldn't believe, because nobody touched our streets. You live in the flats. Of course, they're not going to get touched.
Yeah. That's just. I mean, that's the
hills first.
When you, I mean, the area that I live in Putnam County, Tays Valley Road, they do a decent job on it. The subdivision that I live in, we have a guy that comes in and scrapes. Okay, but he's not going to do it that often because he's doing 55 other subdivisions.
Exactly.
So that's just part of you. You choose where you live and you think about things like this.
Right.
My wife and I chose our house because when we were living in Logan, I lived on a hill.
Yeah.
And one winter, my vehicle was parked at the bottom of the hill the entire winter, and I said, I'm not doing this again.
Right.
When we went to a real estate agent, I said, flat. That's what I want. I want flat land, no more hills.
Else, yeah,
no more hills.
Well, and so that is the concern amongst state, county, city leaders is if we get the ice. That's the worst problem because, they're going to be the city streets that you can't touch. It's going to have a layer of ice. And then you've got to take care of the people that live in the hills. They're the first priority. But I cannot stress this enough. It is going to be so cold right before and right after all next week, not get above freezing. Matter of fact, we've got a couple of shots where we will probably have second half of next week, big time cold that moves back in.
And another chance of snow.
Now think about this. 10 years ago today, we were reeling from the 16 inches of snow that we had 10 years ago. at this time.
Mhm.
That's what shut down the West Virginia Auto Show.
Mhm.
And probably yesterday, all your pictures in Facebook started showing up of, remember this from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And, but I will tell you, the hunting and fishing show is going on because we had Glenn Gerald on yesterday.
What do you
and,
do in the snow? You hunt in the snow.
Yeah. And so that's going
sometimes
on.
you fish.
Hey, can you hang out with me here just one second? I got to take a break. Hang out with me here one second. 9:51, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership, providing customers with X-Plan discount pricing on select new Ford vehicles, meaning you pay what Ford suppliers pay, and if you need service, they offer customer pickup and delivery. Check them out today just off the Hurricane exit or online at generationsford.com. See dealer for details. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
To you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Dave Allen here for the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. With construction underway and the new Fords hitting the lot each day, we're providing our customers with X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of select new Ford vehicles. This means you pay what Ford suppliers pay. Need service? Generations Ford is offering customer pickup and delivery. Visit us today off the Hurricane exit or online at generationsford.com. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford.
One destination for every generation, Generations Ford.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Join Kim Commando, the digital goddess, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 580 WCHS. Get the latest tech trends, digital tips, and practical advice to navigate the digital world. Kim Commando has you covered. Tune in and become a digital guru.
Mention the Hunting and Fishing Show again. It is going to be going on at the Coliseum Convention Center. No matter what kind of weather we get, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday admission, $12 at the door. 12 and under get in for free. Noon till 9 on Friday, 9 to 9 Saturday. And yes, no matter what, they're going on 10 to 5 on Sunday over at the Coliseum Convention Center. Brian Hughes is here. All right, so we're officially not going to still be able to put the exclamation point on the storm system until probably late today. Is that what you're saying?
Probably late today. Tomorrow morning, yes, we're going to have it all buttoned up for the most part.
All right.
You know, there's still forecast models that come in, and believe me, it was a game of mine yesterday afternoon, evening, last night. I think I've been every single person's Facebook feed in West Virginia and Kentucky and Tennessee and Virginia.
But explain to people, though, because people will say, a lot of people have said, well, you know, I look at this weather person and they say this, or I look at this service and they say that. And just like everything in life, people are going to look at things and see disagreements.
Right. There absolutely is. I mean, as I've said, I've been doing this well over 25 years. And there's pattern recognition. I know the biases of forecast models, and I look at some of that as absolute experience. When I know the biases, I know how things perform a little bit better. And listen, we're all listening to each other to some degree. We're all listen to one thing, this, that, the other. I listen to Jim Cantori, very good friend of mine. I don't know that he's coming to Charleston. If he does, if he does, he'll call me and he'll let me know. But not as of yet. But I listen to what everybody's thinking, because somebody finds something, they're like, hey, this, blah, 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 check this out. And then you go, ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
So you absorb so much, but then it's time to regurgitate it and tell people what you
and it could all it could all change.
Right.
But as we stand right,
we got a storm.
As we stand right now, give us a timeline as of, and it may all change tomorrow, but as it stands right now, because people are planning, there's high school basketball and so on and so forth. Give us a timeline. We're fine tomorrow and Friday.
Tomorrow, Friday, we're fine.
And what point Saturday should we start getting concerned?
On Saturday, we will be cold.
Okay.
Temperatures are going to have a hard time getting out of the teens. We'll get a few spots will get to the low 20s. But as we go into the midday, we'll have some light flurries that'll start, then some light snow showers. By the time we get to sunset, there'll probably be an inch, maybe up to 2 inches. As we go into Saturday night, though, the snow will ramp up significantly. Now, there is a possibility that in the overnight hours, as that snow is starting to ramp up, that we will have some wintry mix, that maybe some sleet freezing rain that mixes in that warm wedge along 119 corridor G. And then after that, the snow comes back in and takes
Does
over.
that melt any of the snow that's there?
It will melt some of it, but not all of it.
And then we're all in the snow again Sunday.
All back to snow, and then it is going to be cold, and the snow will wrap up on Monday, but Monday it'll be flurries, and most of that will be happening in the mountains of West Virginia.
All right, and morning commute on Monday looking rough.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. Matter of fact, I don't think there's going to be a lot of events. I believe probably almost all 55 counties of West Virginia will be out of school on Monday.
All right, that's where we are right now.
Yes.
And high school basketball Saturday night, because I know a lot of folks are listening. Do you think most of it will be canceled?
You either need to move them up to the midday or go ahead and cancel.
We've got a big concert over, and that's not going to cancel the Jason Aldean show. I mean, they're going to do that no matter what.
Jason Aldean may be spending Sunday and parts of Monday in West Virginia.
All right. Jason's a regular listener to the show, by the way.
Well, listen, Jason, have a concert. Come on in Monday morning right here.
All right. All right. Meteorologist Brian Hughes, I appreciate you, buddy. Follow this guy on Facebook, if you will, because he's doing great things. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot. Hang out with me here 1 second. Let's go to the Capitol, and let's see. We got Wilson Meadows coming up with Talk Line today. Morning, fellas. How we doing? We don't have them. I thought now we have them. How we doing, guys? Okay. Well, they were there.
Well, they are there. They're a bunch of monkeys that are spinning plates down there, and they got to get that one more plate on there.
All right. All right. So they got called away. You know, apparently it happens. What? All right. Are you there, boys?
Dave. Good morning.
All right. And I got Brian Hughes here as well. Put the headphones on there, Brian, so you can hear what's going on.
Oh yeah, I got him right.
Oh, you got to get your he's got them fancy earbuds in. What's going on at the Capitol today?
Well, most importantly, it is Preston County Day, and there are buckwheat cakes and sausage gravy and sausage, and what else did I have? Applesauce. You put the applesauce on the buckwheat cakes. It's a Preston County thing. So that's the most important thing that's happening here today. I think there are meetings. There might be something about school budgets going on.
Can they get that passed? I mean, really, come on, get that passed.
We got all the.
What do you want to get passed? What is it, Brian? We'll get it through. What do you want us to get through?
I've got a list of things, but let's get that emergency budget passed.
All right.
They're still cooking breakfast. Come on over and get you some.
All right. There went Brian Hughes. He's gone right now. All right. These guys are coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. Guys, we'll be listening. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right. Joey Garcia will lead off the show with us.
All right. Joey Garcia coming up at the top of the hour.
Jerry Garcia, back
from the dead. No pun intended. All right. I'm out of here. I'll see you later today on Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me. Brought to you by Salango Law. Coming up at noon today. We'll be back for this show tomorrow. Till then, have fun. I love somebody.